My name is Emily Sumner with Sumner Immigration, and today I'm going to talk about the processing times for family-based green card cases, specifically the I-130 petition and consular processing. So what's going on with these cases? Why is it taking so long? It is taking a while in the various stages. So there are three major stages. There's the I-130 petition, the National Visa Center processing, and then the interview at the US consulate overseas. With the I-130 petition, right now we're seeing that in general, not always, but in general, it's taking at least a year or longer for USCIS to process the I-130 petition. There's several factors that affect the USCIS processing time that are largely outside of anybody's control. Those factors include the family-based category. So USCIS will prioritize the processing of cases or petitions where the priority date is current, or of course for immediate relatives, they prioritize those. So if your family-based category is F4, for example, the lowest family-based category, which is siblings of US citizens, that processing time is going to be quite long. Another factor that will affect the processing times is who or where your petition is actually adjudicated. So if you can file the I-130 petition online, or you can file by paper. If you file by paper, it goes to a lockbox. In any event, the I-130 petitions are then distributed to either a service center or sometimes to local field offices. And we don't know necessarily, and we certainly can't control where those petitions go. USCIS does try to reallocate the workload, rebalance the workload, so that there's no one sitting in an office with nothing to do, whereas other really busy offices have piles and piles of paperwork. But that where your petition is can affect the processing time. And you'll see that if you go on the USCIS website, just Google USCIS processing times, make sure you're on the USCIS website. You can select the form number, the I-130, the category that the family-based category, and then select different offices, service centers or field offices, and you'll see the processing times are quite different. So it's hard to predict exactly how long it's going to take. But in general, plan for at least a year or even several years. Like I said, if you're in one of the in a preference category where the priority date is not current at the moment and likely not to become current for a while. So that's the I-130 petition. Once the I-130 petition is approved, the case is sent to the National Visa Center. Once the priority date is current, or if it's going to become current soon, you should receive fee bills and an email asking you to upload the required documentation to the National Visa Center's portal. We also call it the NVC for short. So once the priority date is current, and you may have to wait. So even once your I-130 petition is approved, if you are not filing, or if you're not an immediate relative, which is considered to be a spouse, minor child, or parent of a US citizen, you may have to wait for the priority date to become current. So that adds on additional waiting time. Nobody can predict exactly how long that's going to take, but you can look at the visa bulletin to get a sense of how long that might take. So once it's sent to the National Visa Center, if your priority date is current, or if they anticipate it will be current, you're invited to pay the fee bills and upload the required documents. The NVC will probably take 1 to 2 months to review that documentation. It can take longer. They may come back and say we need additional documentation or different documentation, which adds on to the processing times. But I would plan on at least a couple of months for the NVC portion of the process. If your priority date is current, or if you're an immediate relative, then the case is forwarded to the US consulate overseas. You can't choose which consulate it goes to. It's based on where the foreign national who's located overseas is living. So you can't say, oh, the processing times in Italy are really great right now, let me list that on my petition. No, it's based on where the individual is residing. So you have to wait for the NVC to schedule the interview. That also can take anywhere from a few months to right now, a year or years, unfortunately, because of the COVID backlog still. There are a couple of consulates or multiple consulates that still are not processing cases in a timely manner. So that's very frustrating, but that's where we are right now. But just know that it could take several months. It could take longer than that. Again, you have to make sure that your priority date is current. If your priority date is not current, they're going to wait until it's current or going to be current soon in the foreseeable future before they schedule the interview. Otherwise, there's no point in having the interview. So that's a very long answer to a frequently asked quick question that clients ask, which is how long is it going to take to receive my green card? And the answer is it depends on a variety of factors. I know it can be so frustrating, and it's frustrating to not know, to not be able to predict exactly how long it's going to take. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. If there's anything that we can do to help you through this process, please give us a call, send us an email, get on our calendars, make a consultation, schedule a consultation, and we're happy to help you and your family navigate this process. My name is Emily Sumner with Sumner Immigration Law. Until next time.